Good morning, Appalachian Trail community and Ramdino on the Camino community. Day 16. I'm intentionally got my face in the dark because I want y'all to see that sunrise coming up behind me. Let's take a look at it. Oh, that is awesome. That's why we do it, babe. So, the plans we have for the day are, I'm dialing it back a notch. Yesterday I did like a 24 or 25 mile day. As Dirks Bentley said, what was I thinking? So, got caught in the rain the last 15 minutes and got drenched. If I'd have been 15 minutes faster somewhere else on the trail, but anyway, wasn't. That's just the way it is. Got to the albergue. I chose it for the community dinner. I always love the community dinners. The problem is they're not always community dinners, and in this case, cook was out. The albergue is actually for sale, and she is actually, the hospitalero is actually subbing and helping her friend out who owns it. Sounds like it's on its way down. But it was a decent albergue, and to her credit, since we didn't have dinner there, she took us to the next town over in shifts, or she would give us rides in a little old bitty two-door, no, it was a four-door, little old bitty Mitsubishi car, and she would run shuttles to get us to a restaurant over there. So she did a great job, really cared, greatly appreciate her doing that. So today, like I said, we're dialing it back a notch. I'm only going to do 18 miles rather than the 24 plus I did yesterday. I think maybe that'll help my feet. And just yesterday, well, let me start off. Let me get back up. So, was leaving at 6 a.m. Been doing that. Boom. Let me stop this. I gotta take a picture. Been starting at 6 o'clock pretty regularly, pretty much the whole time. Last couple days we dialed it back to about 6:30. I was getting pressure on me from, it's self-imposed pressure, but nonetheless, the person I was hiking with, she liked to get started early, and so, I felt like I needed to get up and go. So now that we split up, no longer hiking together, she's going to keep doing big miles and getting up early, and I'm going to get back to hiking my Camino. Not that I was 100% hiking her Camino, but it is a social trail, and when you get out, you just kind of feel like you need to keep up or whatever. But anyway, I ain't doing that anymore. So, got out about 7 o'clock today, and which works for me. I do like to get out earlier so I can catch the sunrises and when the sun first comes over the horizon. Plus it's cooler, so I hike a couple extra hour cooler, which is 3 miles down the road, and I'm going up a hill here, so I'm out of breath, which is an extra 3 miles that you don't have to worry about the heat. So that's the plan. Still back to the looking at lunch, deciding what to do. I could go another 3 miles, make it 21, but I'd really like to see what an 18-mile day would do for me. But I also got to check and see how that works with meeting Millie up in Saria. That may be back on now. Not that it was ever completely off, but it may be back on. So we'll see. I hope so, because I would like nothing more than to hike in Spain with my daughter. All right, let's get over this hill. We're about 1.5 miles away from where I stayed last night, so hopefully I'll be able to find a bar or restaurant that says that's open, so I can get me a cafe con leche and maybe a tostillia, tostada. I don't know what you call them. They're the Spanish omelet, and I've eaten so many of them things. They put potatoes in them, so it's egg and potatoes, and then you might get them with cheese, and you might get them with cheese and ham, but sometimes those are few and far between, and you don't know when they cooked them either. But I like to get one on a plateau, on a plate, because I know that one's fresh. So that is what I'm getting ready to do in this sleepy little town. Woo! Look at that. 274.8 kilometers to Santiago. Are you kidding me? That's official. I'm under, according to the roadside. Of course, I know I've been under it, but yeah, that is really neat. A lot of times you go right through a farm. This was a cattle farm. I think it was a dairy farm. But anyway, yeah, so that's huge. So 274. That'll take me probably 2 days to get that, maybe a little more than 2 days to get that to where it's under 300, where I'm in the 200s. Oh, crazy. So I should see Millie in 5 to 6 days in Soria. Since I'm dialing it back, it'll probably be more like 6, but I don't know, who knows. After I do 18 today, I may find another gear. I do have a couple long stages coming up. One's 28, one's 30. You know, I'm doing like 35, or I have been doing 35 clicks or more a day. But if you dial it back one day, then you still do that next day. But it's kind of been hard to hit the spots I want to hit to stay and still maintain some decent rate, a decent pace. I'm just not much to get to a albergue early at 1 o'clock and sit around all day. I guess I could catch up on all these YouTube videos I'm behind on, but that's not why I'm out here, right? There'll be time for that for you guys when I get back. And as a matter of fact, when you're looking at this one, day 16, I'll already be back. There's no way. I think I've only posted through day 4 so far. There's no way I'm gonna be able to catch up all that. All right, we'll continue the mission. Well, I'm coming into San Justo de la Vega and Astorga. You can see they got still snow on the high elevations back there, but this is a very populated modern city. Camino typically takes you through the old part of town, although going in and out, you're going to be in an industrialized section. But we'll see here. But it's just one more good-sized city that I'm going through that puts me closer to Santiago. And with every step, I'm getting closer, and I'm getting more excited. Not about it being over, but there's always that looking forward to getting to your goal, right? The closer you get to it, and I'm not at that point yet, but at some point it kind of switches to, oh gosh, I'm almost done. You know, you almost get a little post-trail depression. I know Robert, the guy, my buddy that I hiked with, that I met and hiked with from Roncesvalles to where they run with the bulls. Dang, I forgot. Anyway, Robert, he's texted me several times and says he's having post-trail depression, keeping up, just watching my videos and stuff, and I've sent him a few pictures and everything and keeping him updated on where I'm going. Anyway, kind of neat. Looks like they're getting ready to put us in a squirrel cage. This gets us up and over the railroad track. All their railroads here are electrical. Maybe we could learn something by that. I haven't seen any freight trains, I've just seen passenger. But yeah, they built this whole monstrosity just to get us up and over that. So that's pretty awesome. Appreciate you, whoever put the money into it. I won't show you the whole thing, but all right, let's keep rolling into Idos. Well, I just left the chapel at Astorga, took that tour, probably 45 minutes. Didn't see everything. You could be there all day doing that. But did see they've got a wood carving from, I don't know, several centuries old of St. John. Of course, this is what the Camino is, the way of St. John. And while I was there, I had a request from a good friend of mine I've hiked with on the AT, who's, I'm not going to say her name. She knows who she is. Her sister has pancreatic cancer, and she asked for me to light a candle and pray for her. And of course, I have already been doing that since I heard the news, but I did want to light a candle and say a prayer over that for her. So just know that I've done that, been thinking of your family, been thinking of her and been praying, and I know that that God can heal people of cancer, because that's why I'm here. All right, well, I got some steep mountains, and I think those over there in the distance, I think we got to go over those eventually. I did not realize that. So that'll be interesting. And as usual, I'm not sure where I'm going to end up. So we'll see what happens once I get out of town. So this was a chapel just right outside of town. And it's called the Hermitage. So, oh, it's got water over there too. So I'll go, it's got water right over there. So I'll go camel up, but I went there and said a prayer for my continued journey. All right, stopped and had me a bocadilla for the 1100th time, and an Aquarius drink, which is a drink they have. It doesn't have a lot of carbonation, if any, and it does have some electrolytes in it. But this village is partially, pretty much, was falling apart, and they've what's there is pretty much for the Camino and a few residences. But yeah, you see a lot of these ruins that were old houses and stuff that I'm walking through now. So I got a choice to make. My next stop is 4.3 clicks, so that's less than a mile and a half. Or I've got to go 6 miles, because there's nothing in between. So I'm gonna go this 4.3 or whatever clicks and see what how I feel, and then go from there. Looks like there's rain over there. Obviously there's snow on that mountain that I've been looking at for a week, I guess, off in the distance. Did not know I'd be over here this close to it, but it's like there is some rain moving in. I got wet yesterday, so I'll have to break out the rain gear sooner this time rather than later. like I did before. But I'll get up here and make my decision then. I'd really like to go the full 6 miles, but I had kind of told myself I'd take a slow day, but dang it, it depends on what time I get there. I'm just not much for, if I got daylight, I got to keep going. And that's why I am on the AT. That's not the way you have to be on the Camino. So we'll see when we get up here. So this is my view from my albergue, where I've actually got a balcony. And it's a private balcony. And I'll tell you why here in just a minute. But I've got it. It's all for me. But I thought this was interesting. Never had a second floor albergue, and so it kind of gives you the idea of what the town looks like. And that big, huge mass over there is like on that steeple is like the other masses I'll show you some other pictures of what that is. Pretty dang odd. All right, folks. Well, I'll end today's video with the crowd that is gathered here at this albergue. As you can see, other than this bunk, it's full to the capacity. I am here by myself. And to be honest with you, that's a little sketchy. Is there an issue with this albergue that I don't know about? I will say this, that a normal person may have just closed the doors and not let me in when I walked up. Not only that, I asked for this communal dinner, and we had 100%, and he cooked dinner for the communal dinner, and we had 100% participation. Me. That was it. But he cooked the meal despite nobody else being here, so I gotta hand it to him. That is the true essence of the Camino, for him to go to that trouble just for me. So I greatly appreciate that, and I will definitely give him a good review for that. So that is it for day 15. Tomorrow's day 16. And we are bound for Ponferra, I believe is what it's called. But I'll pass the Iron Cross tomorrow, where I have the stone that Angela, I picked out. Actually, Millie and I picked out from our creek. And Angela decorated it for me. And also one for Chance. So I've got his stone, even though, because he was supposed to be here, even though he's not here. So we will leave them there. As is the, did you see that? As is what people do. They bring something from home to leave at that stone. All right, folks, that is it for this evening. As always, appreciate you, and buen camino.